So you want to switch it up a little bit from your taco night or spaghetti night. Today I'm sharing 2 casserole recipes using ground beef that you're going to want in your dinner rotation. First up, I made a French onion beef casserole. So of course we're going to start with 1 pound of ground beef. I'm just going to brown that up, and then we're going to add in 1 packet of the Lipton onion soup mix. I think this was the beef flavor, but just the regular or the beef flavor will be just fine. So I'm going to sprinkle that on, and also we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream and then 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. I'm just going to give everything a good stir to combine. We're also going to add in just a few splashes of Worcestershire sauce. That's going to help deepen these flavors a little bit. And honestly, this sauce at this point is done. You could just serve it just like this over noodles or rice, even mashed potatoes, and it would be delicious. But we are going to take it up just another notch. I think y'all are really going to enjoy that. So over on the side, I do have 1 bag of just regular egg noodles, and I'm just going to cook these according to the package directions, maybe minus about a minute, because we are going to put this into the oven so they'll continue to bake along with all of the liquid from the sauce and everything. So I just let my sauce continue to kind of simmer on low on the side. I actually just popped a lid on there and just let it sit there while our noodles were finishing up cooking. And when they're done, of course, I drained them and then just brought those right over and stirred those into the sauce. Just gave everything a really good mix. Got all those noodles all nice and coated. Also, at this point, if your sauce and noodle mixture seems a little bit thick, you can add just a little splash of milk in here. And also at this point, I went ahead and gave it a little taste to make sure I didn't want to add any extra seasonings or any extra liquid like I said, but this time it actually turned out perfect. Next, I just have a greased baking dish over here. I'm going to bring over our French onion noodle mixture and just add that right in, and then get that all spread out. Also, I topped ours with a little bit of cheese. You could use Colby Jack. I had some mozzarella, so that's what I used. I'm just going to sprinkle on probably a cup or so, which, by the way, all the full recipes are always typed out down below in my description box, so make sure you check down there. And then on top of the cheese, we gotta have some of those crispy fried onions. So I'm just gonna add on probably a cup or so of those. Like I always say, just measure with your heart on this. We love that crunchy topping, so I probably added a good bit. Once we have all of those yummy toppings on there, we are going to bake this in the oven at 350, but it only needs to bake 15 or 20 minutes. All we're really doing is melting that cheese. Everything else is already cooked in there. And this is so good, y'all. So easy and so quick to make. Those noodles are nice and soft. We had that creamy ooey gooey cheese, and then that salty crunch from our little crispy fried onions on top. If you love French onion flavors, this is going to be a must try. Next up, we have a Doritos Casserole. This one is so good. And first, I'm actually going to start by sauteing up some frozen onions. I just like to get some color and some flavor on those. And then, of course, we're going to add in our pound of ground beef and just get that pretty much browned up. If your ground beef has a good bit of fat on it, you'll want to drain it. But this one didn't have too much, just a little bit. So I'm just taking a paper towel and just getting out some of that fat. Next, we're gonna add in 1 packet of your favorite taco seasoning. And I've mentioned to y'all before, the Taco Bell one, I don't know, we can just tell a difference. I think the Taco Bell one is just the best. So we're gonna add that in. Also 1 can of mild Rotel. I didn't add quite the whole can. And then a little bit of frozen corn. I'm just gonna pour that right in, frozen and everything. I did also add in some minced garlic in here. Not sure what happened to that little clip, but added in minced garlic, and then also we're gonna add in a little bit of sour cream and some shredded cheese. Just add everything in and give it a nice little stir. And you just wanna let this simmer just about 5 minutes just to kind of let everything come together. And just like the other recipe, if your mixture seems a little bit too thick, you can just add a splash of milk. So that's what I ended up doing to this. And now we're ready to get it in our baking dish. So over on the side, first we're gonna add a crust to the bottom, and we're just gonna be using a crescent sheet for that. So you just wanna roll it out and just kind of press it down gently in your baking dish. And then next, on top of that, we're just gonna take some of the regular nacho cheese Doritos and crush that on top of our crescent sheet. You really won't know it's down here. It just basically adds a little bit of flavor. I'm using my gloves, y'all, because I didn't want to get all that orange dust all over my hands. And then next, we're gonna bring over our ground beef mixture and just spread that all over top of our Doritos and our crescent sheet. Next, on top of the ground beef, we're gonna add some shredded cheese, just a little bit more, probably a cup or so. I actually had Darren come add my cheese on here because in just a second, we're gonna add just a little bit more of that Dorito topping on top of the cheese. And there's me pointing that he missed a spot. I'm so particular. I want my casseroles, I've told y'all this, everybody has to have an even amount. So anyway, once we got the cheese on there, just how I wanted it, we're gonna add another little layer of those crunchy Doritos. And this is going into the oven at 350, again, only for 10-15 minutes, just to melt that cheese and get everything combined. This was so good, y'all. This is the perfect little switch up for taco night. I love that crunchy topping, and that little crescent dough crust on the bottom just adds a hint of sweetness. And of course, you can top this with all of your favorite taco toppings. We added a little bit of sour cream, some green onion for some color. You could also do some lettuce, and then just a little bit of chopped tomatoes. Y'all have to give this one a try and let me know how you like it. But if you love these recipes, I'm gonna have another video right here on the screen that I think you will enjoy. Thank y'all for cooking along with me. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see y'all real soon in my next video. Bye, y'all.